There's a difference between fear and wisdom. And more often than not, people get the two confused. We can get just saying, I'm just being wise, I'm waiting for peace, or I'm waiting for the next step, right? I'm just gonna wait until I know everything I need to know before I take the next step. But oftentimes, people will mistake that for wisdom. But really, it's just fear with a spiritual mask. Because we will wait on God, but when God tells us to move anyway, without all the steps, without all the wisdom, without all the confidence that we think we should have, then it can easily submit to fear. Because we'll wait another week, we'll wait another year, we'll wait another month, right? We're just waiting on God when God is only waiting on us. In the book of Timothy, 2 Timothy chapter 1, verses 7, it goes on to say, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." So anytime we are worrying, we're supposed to put that onto Christ. Anytime we have bad thoughts, we put those thoughts subject to Christ, because we don't have to worry ourselves. We don't have to hate. We don't have to be scared. We don't have to be sad. We don't have to do any of those things, right? What we need to do is just have a sound mind, body, and spirit, and just be at peace. But fear can just be confused for wisdom, right? And a sound mind can be confused for avoidance. Wisdom produces movement, not paralysis, right? Avoiding responsibility, staying comfortable. Those two things right there is what hurts the youth the most, especially the people, right, that are in their 20s now, in their 30s, right, and even in their 40s and 50s and so on, right? Not so much whenever you're younger, you're not worried about these things as much. As we get older, we find ourselves with more barriers, more mental capacity, more things to be worried about, to be scared about, because we put on so much more responsibility. Now, that's a good thing. As you grow, more responsibility means more freedom, right? More situations, more opportunities, but it can also be confusion. It could also hinder you. It could also be avoidance. But if we just sit there and listen to ourselves just a little bit, maybe we can stop confusion and bring clarity. Waiting for the perfect conditions is never gonna happen. We always wait for the right circumstances. I'm gonna wait till all my money is lined up and then I'm gonna buy a house. I'm gonna wait till I find the exact right person. This person can't say the wrong things. I'm not gonna fight with this person. And then we're gonna have a family. Or I'm gonna wait to get the new car as soon as I do this and this and this. And then those things never come. A lot of times our biggest fears will never happen. And a lot of times when we talk about the perfect circumstances, those never happen either. Because life is continually going on. Life is always imperfect, but life is a gift if we think about it, right? But not overthink, because overthinking it's more of an occurrence instead of obedience. They both start with O, but have two completely different meanings. Overthinking is causing paralysis, causing you to stay paralyzed into one place, one position, one outcome. But being obedient is the complete opposite. We're moving, we're doing the right things. We are doing things even when we don't have all the answers, when we don't have all the confidence, when we don't have all the wisdom or the knowledge of what we're getting into, right? So we have to be smart about it. We have to be responsible about what we consider overthinking with obedience. Obedience brings things like blessing. It brings overflowing, and it truly just brings clarity. It brings another open door, because now you have felt the taste of jumping without the safety net. And then still landing in God's hands, still landing on your 2 feet. Yes, you may trip and fall. Yes, you may stumble. Yes, you may doubt yourself. But it soon enough that will turn into clarity. That will turn into you standing on your 2 feet. That will soon turn into a new foundation. Fear always just sounds reasonable because of what we tell ourselves. Sometimes we are our biggest enemies and our biggest critics, but we can also be our biggest fans. But we cannot mix the two. We cannot do two at the same time. We can't serve two masters, right? We can't serve money and God. We're going to love one more than the other. So what we need to do is choose obedience over overthinking, clarity over confusion, responsibility over just response. Right? And we will soon see ourselves being called to obedience, being called to being courageous and encouraging ourselves rather than discouragement and being afraid. So I've even caught myself calling fear wisdom just because it sounded responsible. So waiting to do this, waiting to do that. And yeah, it is responsibility, but it is also causing myself and anyone else that's watching this video that it's just causing you to be fearful and it's not making you move. And it's already January 7th and a lot of people haven't even done anything on the New Year resolution list. They haven't even thought about it. They quit on it. They said they were going to wake up and they're going to start next week. They're going to start next Monday. And then next thing you know, that's going to be 2 weeks gone by. But we have to be able to know the difference between these things, because wisdom brings clarity. Fear brings confusion. Wisdom aligns with obedience. Fear protects comfort. Wisdom moves forward carefully. Fear stays stuck. And a lot of times this year, you will feel stuck. But you have to know when to move and you have to know when to stay put. But a lot of times we cannot get the two confused. We do get the two confused more often than not. We believe that staying put is actually being obedient. When God wants you to move, God didn't tell Jesus to stay in one place at one time for his whole ministry. He had him say a parable, serve a miracle, and move on to the next. It was never stay there for a long time, because there was a mission, there was a purpose that God had Jesus on that didn't cause him to stay in one place. Yes, now if this is the time for you to stay in one place right now, be confident about it, move with it, but still be moving. Don't just stay stuck waiting in your bed, believing that the opportunity and the blessing is going to fall into your lap. That's not going to happen. What you need to do is be confident, have wisdom, and move along while staying stuck until God gives you the next blessing, until God gives you the next opportunity to move to the next venture. Right? So if what you're calling is wisdom keeps you from obeying God, it might not be wisdom at all. So if it's calling you away from God, maybe it's not even wisdom. Maybe it's not obedience. Maybe it's not what you're telling yourself it is. So think twice whenever you are continuing to be confused or overthink. Maybe the thing that you are being confused and overthinking about is not what is actually you're being obedient about. What you need to do is, if you think that it is wisdom, if you think that if it is something that God is calling you to do, pray about it, sit in it for a little bit, and then move. Don't just pray and do nothing. Faith without works is dead, right? We've heard that many times before. But what we need to do is, if you pray about it, think about it for a little bit, sit on it, and then move. Let's move together in 2026. Let's have purpose. Let's have mission. Don't just sit in one place. Don't stay stuck this year. Continue to move, continue to pray, continue to be obedient, and do it with a sense of urgency, man. Like, comment, subscribe on this video. I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me on this one, and I hope y'all catch me on the next one.